going on, y'all? Let's check out some news about Hassan Piker with his clown self, man. Always making a fool out of himself. But it's good for our entertainment. Let's check this out. Don't forget to hit the hype button. Also share the video and hit the like button. And drop some comments. Let me know what y'all think. I'll be reading the comments.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here. So it must be a day that ends in Y because we have another round of Pragmata related drama to cover. Thanks to the latest upload by ShoeOnHead that went over the last couple of weeks of controversy surrounding this game, and that has sparked more outrage from the usual suspects and / Hasan Piker fans. Now, of course, millions of people have been enjoying this game that not only has a fun experience to offer, but also a wholesome father-daughter dynamic between the characters Hugh and Diana. A dynamic and a character in particular with Diana that millions are enjoying as a wholesome relationship and something that has sparked an internal paternal...
People that's trying to make that weird are weird. And they're kind of like, they themselves are the weirdos.
Instinct in men and also a maternal instinct in women across the world. But as we've seen over the past couple of weeks, this game has made the most miserable people very unhappy. We have seen a flurry of tweets and articles doing everything in their power to pervert and demonize everything this game stands for, going as far out of their way to label fans and developers of this game as incels, as predators, and any other word that they wish to water down for the sake of gaining internet points. In fact, things are so shameless that we have infamous articles like this from The Gamer trying to demonize the supposed Pragmata Diana fan club that is apparently very dangerous and predatory, while of course admitting in the same article that they never even played the game and have no idea what is actually contained in the game itself. Now, one of the people to weigh in on this situation was ShoeOnHead about a week ago, where she said this, as a mother, "I cannot believe how effing mad people are at this tweet/game. Yes, this is what having a kid is like. It's also other not so fun stuff, of course, and lots of responsibility, but the good parts completely outweigh the quote unquote bad and make it all worth it. People have been so blasted by anti-natalist propaganda."
Do they? Because the noise would make me lose my mind. That's like one of the things I'm dreading about having a kid is during the early ages, kids make mad noise, bro. They do. So like, I want to be able to be attentive, but at the same time, I like my peace. So it's something that I had to contemplate about, like, ugh. Yeah, all the other things are great, but the noise, man. Then they're going to get to the age where they don't want to talk to you at all. And then you're going to miss the noise. Like, why you don't come around no more? Never want to visit. But now, on a serious note, I don't think there's nothing wrong to wanting to raise a child, bro. Nothing wrong with that.
And they lose their effing minds at anything remotely pro-children. I'm glad this cute video game is inspiring people to want to have kids. Now, when I saw that reaction from Shoe and covered it in a video, I made a request for her to cover this subject because she has the unique perspective as a mother and someone who covers stuff like this. And of course, she saw my request buried about 5 minutes into my sixth video on the subject over the past 2 weeks. And she responded with this video titled "The Male Protector Fantasy. Is it incel to want to be a father?" Well, to answer that, according to Twitter, absolutely. Now, first of all, as a VTuber, pointed out here by Kitsu, I am morally and legally required to watch a ShoeOnHead video and react, which I did react to it live on YouTube yesterday. But there were definitely some very interesting takeaways that I think sum up her perspective on this, and also has made people very mad on social media.
Oh my god, Diana is so precious and adorable. I'm gonna love this game. Thanks for telling everyone why you want to play the game, before you make up some other excuse to hide your pedophilia.
Wow.
What? I feel like this girl character is an objectification of the idealized child. She's pulled right from the patriarchal white supremacist imagination, the perfect pure white girl child that must be protected so she can produce the next white generation.
Come on.
Yeah. You nasty fam, you nasty. fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name. You.
All those people are weird, bro. They weird as hell. How does your mind go to something like that? Whoa. These people are really disgusting. Nasty work. Hey, what's up, DHF? How you doing, Holla Girl? Yeah, these people are, they're wilding out. It's a video game that's encouraging people to want to be parents. And y'all acting like it's R. Kelly. Or did he? Now that's funny.
Anyway, no, you don't understand. Everything around me must be ugly as or I will furiously start masturbating.
So as you can see, even people like ShoeOnHead, who have been covering the insanity of the internet for quite some time, are taken aback by the vicious reactions people are having to Pragmata and its fans. In fact, as she highlights here, not only do we have these perverse and self-reporting type reactions about Diana and this game, we also have these people trying to come up with these theories that this game is trying to promote some sort of patriarchal white supremacist agenda. Like, they are reaching so hard. This is a Stretch Armstrong level of reach these people are doing. But she does also mention the anti-natalist propaganda that has really flooded the internet. And that is not a joke. I mean, I saw...
You said, when did Twitter get like this? Twitter been like this. The internet's like that in general. People were looking for excuses to try to accuse people of stuff. I remember I was talking about like old TV shows, right? And I think I was talking about how like when I was young, I had a crush on Topanga from the TV show Boy Meets World. And then some woman was like, "What? She was a child. What's wrong with you? You're nasty." I was like, Topanga like 10 years older than me, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. What the fuck? Why would you just assume some nasty-ish when I was a toddler watching this TV show? They was like in the college years when I was like in elementary. What are you talking about? It's just people's minds, yo. They want to go to that place. These some sick-ass people. They need help. That's the first place your mind go to. There's some like R. Kelly-ish. I don't know. You maybe got some trauma you need to work out. That's a therapist and your problem. Not everyone in the world that you want to just classify as ish. So like, this is nothing new. There's always going to be people like this on Twitter, the internet. I'll wave them off like farts. Unless I'm covered as commentary. These people are idiots. They're nasty themselves. I'm telling you, they're projecting. Because that's where their minds are.
A tweet the other day with over 100,000 likes where a woman was celebrating declining birth rates in America as some sort of empowering statement for women. Like, totally brain destroyed, like, sad reality we're living in. This stuff is very real. And we've seen people still responding. Like, since my last time talking about Pragmata, there's been more and more and more where you have this quote of someone pointing out the anti-natalist propaganda that people have become so accustomed to, saying there was no such thing as decades of anti-natalist propaganda. You guys are just predators and/or have breeding fetishes. It's amazing how people are pointing this out. Like, no, breeding is that thing that like keeps the species going. That is now apparently a fetish, according to these terminally online individuals. We're also labeling people as predators for enjoying a wholesome father-daughter dynamic in a game that has absolutely zero sexualization whatsoever. But of course, these people are not just delusional, they're incredibly racist. And I think the fact that this came out of a Japanese studio is no coincidence when it comes to the vicious reactions. We have individuals like this calling it Pragmata is only popular because of weird conservative propaganda. That's why it's only popular in weird countries and only talked about in political discourse. And it shows first week sales in Japan, comparing Tomodachi Life
That's a weird
to
thing.
Pragmata, where apparently this game has weird child.
I've been to Japan. It was an amazing time, bro. The most polite people I've ever met. The train be quiet. No one talks on the train. Oh my gosh. I wish they would carry some of these traditions over to America. Because people will walk on the bus or the train with a boombox blasting music and look at you crazy when you look at them crazy. Why I gotta hear what you bumping? It's weird.
Bare feet and obvious predator gooner baits, which the fact that you're pointing this out is more of a
What's up, Blue Star? How you doing?
self-report than anything. And also, again, some more projection about this game somehow being predatory. But this really just reflects the complete detachment people have from reality, where a lot of the reactions from the Japanese side of Twitter have been incredibly wholesome. We can see many different examples of people going, wait a second, is fatherhood really this fun, this wholesome, and this satisfying to your hearts? And people exchanging all kinds of very positive reactions. And also in that shoe clip, we unlocked a astounding new internet meme. This is very, very true, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the tweets I saw came from a lot of, let's just say, individuals who like to sell their body on the internet, like this, who are freaking out over people enjoying Pragmata, basically saying anyone enjoying this has no idea what it's like raising an actual human being, and that these people have no idea what it's like to be a parent. And, well, it's all projection, of course. These people do not have kids. And you compare that to someone like ShoeOnHead, and the dichotomy, the complete 180 and how they reacted to this game is very telling. But speaking of this rash of insane reactions to Pragmata, we know the
Looking like one of the henchmen from the Super Mario movie in the 90s.
Hassan angle here, where he saw a description of Pragmata and went completely nuclear, totally not projecting, by the way.
In one emotional moment, she gives him a crayon drawing of the two of them together as a little family. Even streamers who say at the start they didn't want kids end up breaking down happy in tears. So what's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like starting families and stuff. And I don't understand like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like, if you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about things that you actually enjoy, right? If you're a fucking lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Like, why do you care about having children or like riding for having children? Like, if they changed
That's crazy.
hot Cheetos, if they changed the recipe of hot Cheetos, if they changed the recipe of like, I don't know, Dr. Pepper or something, and you fucking freaked out about that, that makes sense, right? Like, that's precisely what your life is about. But as far as like LARPing about starting families and whatnot, this is something
So ignorant, bro. It's almost as if he's like not aware that, for one, having a child can change someone's life, right? Even for the better. It can change their life for the better, make them different. Maybe they still would like to eat hot Cheetos if they wanted to. I don't know. I haven't eaten a hot Cheeto in years. It's not my chip selection of choice. I like onion rings. Anyway, I digress. Like, all these things that he's saying about gamers are so incorrect. There's a plethora of gamers that have children and families that live great lives. You're projecting. And I feel bad for your dog. I really wish you wouldn't be able to have one.
that I never understand. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because it's just not something that you're going to experience ever for your life, for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah, clips like that are not only projection, but just another example of how hedonistic and pathetic Hasan Piker is, where he not only lives for the now and his instant gratification, whether it's with the expensive sports cars or the mansions, forgetting the whole socialist LARP, but this is a guy who wants to live for fame and numbers and things that he can hold on to in his life right now. he is completely baffled by the concept of wanting something beyond yourself, that this game is inspiring people to think beyond just themselves and to think about having a family and wanting to have a legacy, something that lives beyond them. And his obsession with calling people incels and sexless and all these things just shows that this guy and his priorities are completely out of whack. He basically...
The meme happening. The dude pointing to a mirror is hilarious. That's exactly what Hassan sounds like.
Values these sorts of activities as your worth. Like, if you're not engaging in intercourse, your value is less than, which is an insane thing for Hassan to say. But at the end of the day, we all know this is just a level of projection. He is very upset about Diana and the concept of a happy family because it doesn't seem like he's going to have one. We all know that his secret girlfriend, Valkyrie, does not want to have kids. She is 34 years old and has said over and over again that she chooses her career over having a family, which again, anti-natalist propaganda. Bingo. It worked again, ladies and gentlemen, because that's exactly...
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, I'm an older person and I've always felt like I didn't want to have a kid until I had everything necessary that I would need to be able to take care of one. Right? Like if I got enough money to where I could afford a maid or something like that, or a nanny to help out, then maybe, right? Like I think that would be more conducive. Shoot, I just told you how I felt about noise. I don't know what it is. I think I got that condition. Right now, in this very moment, as I'm live streaming, I'm playing white noise in my headphones. Y'all can't hear it. I set it up to where only y'all can hear that, in addition to the content that I'm reacting to. So I think I got something where noise just really bugs me. Right? That Jane's like, everything's like scratching on a chalkboard or something like that to me these days. Well, certain frequencies. It's probably because I did sound training back when I was like working at a studio. But anyway, I digress. I think that would be better or more beneficial. Me being able to have more support.
What we're talking about exactly, what ShoeOnHead was talking about, but she would weigh in on Hassan and absolutely brutalize this man.
First of all, the only care about something if it affects you is extremely libertarian coded and also very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean. Second of all, what is this nihilistic horseshit? You never aspire for anything, never aim for greatness and meaning. This is the dude the media wants us to believe is going to save young men from the alt-right pipeline. Yeah, okay. And I love how he's like, unfuckable losers. Like, okay, congrats on the sex, bro. Check out this sex haver over here. I'm sure all those unfuckable losers could easily go to foreign brothels and pay for sex like you, Hassan. Something weird about a man who could easily consensually get sex from a woman, but chooses to go to a brothel. I don't know. Just saying. Also, 35? No kid?
He must be getting nasty in that brothel. Must be stuff. Never mind. We're not going to even. Let's keep going.
Kids? Like, I'm sorry. That just pisses me off. Like, sitting in his ugly ass $600 Gucci sweater. I swear I've never seen this guy in a fucking normal ass t-shirt. Sitting on his high horse, looking down at people for wanting something more out of life. I don't understand how someone could be so mentally mind raped that this is their reaction to such like a simple, wholesome concept. Like, literally, no joke, the entire meaning of life is somehow confusing to Hasan Piker.
See how easy it is to pick apart Hasan Piker. This guy, again, is an ultimate hedonist. He is someone who lives for the world. That
nigga's a Virtuemite. If you know, you know. If you ever watched Invincible, was that the finale last week? There's no new episode this week, right? Anyway. That's funny as
There's absolutely no conception of wanting something greater than just yourself. The concept of a happy family.
Hey, what's up, Downrange? Is it Downrange? Yep, Downrange. How are you?
It's proven how fatherless and miserable he really is. And all you got to do is just remind him that time is ticking, that he is running out of time to achieve these things that seem to make him so angry, mainly because it seems like he's never going to have it. Now, this was pointed out in a clip that was shared, which contained the relevant quotes that we just went over, and people from Hassan's community were very upset about this. This individual, in quotes, saying, "Herder, what leftists think we deserve," says the guy who will never experience consensual intercourse. A very aggressive response, and also kind of proving the point everyone's making here. Here's a quote saying, "The world's biggest pick-me and her Hassan bad arc to please her Nazi incel audience." Ah, yes, multiple buzzwords.
Wow.
Surely that'll make your opinion more valid.
Don't she got like a lot of leftist supporters too?
Squidward Leninism, amazing stuff. Congratulations on being completely manipulated by Hasan Piker. Like, imagine being brainwashed by Hasan Piker, defending him in this situation while pretending to be some commie on the internet. Meanwhile, you're simping for the greatest communist with a Gucci bag, Hasan Piker himself, who recently made it very clear how easy it is to grift to stupid people, which is what he does on a daily basis. This guy lives in complete contrast to all the beliefs he pushes out on the internet. All he has to do is LARP as some communist and drive around in $250,000 sports cars in outfits that cost more than people's monthly salaries while living in a mansion. And people will be like, okay, well, we still side with Hassan. It's so pathetic. But here's another quote saying, "Wig on head should stick to OF, buddy. She's not fit to discuss such topics." I mean, first of all, I think you're kind of like projecting your own fantasies here. But on top of that, telling a woman she's not allowed to discuss serious topics, not very woke of you, sir. And you look at their accounts and
that did sound crazy. I didn't even know she was on there. If she is, that's wild.
and it just makes sense, right? But then again, they're also a vegan, so maybe they're not getting the nutrients they need. I would understand why they're so frustrated all the time. But here's another quote saying, "When will this creepy reanimated Barbie doll F off into the woods with her insane 13th Nazi boyfriend? I'm so tired of hearing this woman's opinion, man. She's the biggest capital G grifter on the effing planet. Goes wherever her boyfriend pulls her by the hair." I think you are, again, projecting your own thoughts onto ShoeOnHead here. And very aggressive. Again, these progressive people really hate when a woman has an opinion they don't like. Here's another person saying, "Best monetized pick me on the internet." Yeah, they have no real argument. Have you noticed that? There's not a single counter argument to anything she's saying. All they call her is names like pick me, grifter, and then they call her fan base a bunch of incels and things like that. You know, a bunch of buzzwords and phrases that have lost all meaning whatsoever. Then we have this individual saying she went from warning about incels years ago to now grifting for their attention. It's actually effing sad. Also, WTF, does something Hassan did one time 15 years ago have to do with making fun of losers who treat every piece of new media as an attack on their own personal insecurities? Projection for Hassan right there. Friendly fire. But the thing is, as pointed out by Shoe, and I have harped on this for years, Hassan, number one, will bring up something that happened 15 years ago to his enemies, like without hesitation. But he's always calling people sexless and incels and all these things. But as pointed out by Shoe and myself many times, he is a guy, despite his looks, despite his wealth, despite his connections, despite his fame, still has to pay women for intimacy. Isn't that like the saddest thing you've ever heard? It's actually beyond pathetic. That is...
I could never. That sound wild as hell. It wouldn't feel right. Hassan, on the other hand.
Hassan. That's the guy who you think is some alpha Chad. He still has to pay for it. It's actually profoundly embarrassing. Meanwhile, also, when he does find a girlfriend, he has to keep her on the down low because he's so insecure about his numbers. He doesn't want to hurt his bottom line by making it more clear to his viewers that he's not available to them. It's a very sad existence. And also, as pointed out in this quote, when Shue asks, what does incel mean anymore? It is because she didn't understand how the insult works. Incel does not refer to a man who is an involuntary celibate. It refers to a man that the leftists believe deserves to be involuntarily celibate. Now, this is definitely true. I mean, the actual definition is this, right? But it's been twisted into a man that the leftists primarily believe deserve to be in that state, right? It's an insult really for people they believe does not deserve any sort of intimacy in their life because wrong think. Now, Hassan hasn't really responded yet to this. His only really somewhat relevant tweet is saying if the president doesn't want to be called a Nazi, perhaps he should stop behaving like one. Coming from the guy who recently had a 60-plus part compilation of him wishing violence on others and glorifying and endorsing terrorism, I'd be very careful with a standard like that. But then again, I mean, does this guy have any standards? Does he even care how much of a hypocrite he looks like? Obviously, he doesn't care. But that's going to do it for this video and the latest ShoeOnHead video. As I said, I'm required to react to it as a...
Yeah, fam, she smoked him. And it seemed like Hassan is just mad about it and bitter, being a crybaby when he's the one that's not making sense at all. All these people that are mad at that game, they're delusional, they're crazy, and they're projecting. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what yours is down in the comment section. Hit the hype button. Watch more videos. Also, see if you're subscribed. YouTube be unsubbing people sometimes. And join my Discord. I got to promote that more. Join my Discord so you get bonus notifications for whenever I drop videos. Sign up. It's free.